Hey guys, it is your buddy Jason. It has been quite a while since I've had the chance to talk with you, or rather, since I've taken the opportunity to talk with you. I hope you don't mind just to kind of give me a minute or two of your time this evening. First, let me start by saying I've missed talking with you greatly. There's been quite a bit going on in my life, and a lot of good. Certainly, I've had my quarantine battles, as I'm sure many of you have. If you don't believe that, you can see my beard has turned almost completely white. I don't know if this means I'm getting wiser, or if I'm just getting really old, or just stressed out, or what. But it is what it is. But you know, that's one of the reasons I wanted to come to you and talk to you tonight, because I think sometimes we're really quick to share when things are going really well. And then we're sometimes when we've got good things on the horizon and yet we don't feel good, we're kind of embarrassed to talk about it. Like we're afraid that we're going to come across as ungrateful, or I don't really know what the fear is, but I know that I have it, because the fact of the matter is, for about the last month or so, I've really been struggling. I've got a lot of great things that God's lined up for me, and things that I'm so grateful for. I'm about to be phenomenal company. I going to be relocating to a place where essentially where I grew up at. Many good friends in that area. My brother's in that area. The Lord even blessed Kim and I. We put our house on the market last week, and we were able to sell the house, or with his help, I should say, we were able to sell the house or get a contract within 24 hours. And so, really just a lot of good things happening. But if I'm being honest with you, I've just really been struggling, mentally. Even with all the good that's out there, those fears and those doubts, they continue to creep in. The stress continues to creep in. My anxiety continues to kind of be on a high level. And if I'm being honest, it's kind of led to a situation where I've had just a total collapse of my self-discipline. Really at some points in time, having almost a total collapse of what I think my self-value or worth is. And I understand that, like, when you go through a season of change, you have a lot of things that just kind of like start to weigh on your mind. But let me tell you, it's not healthy to go through that stuff alone. And so I'm just kind of coming and telling you some things because maybe you're in that same situation where, even though things aren't, necessarily bad, you just don't feel good. And it is okay when you're not okay. And unfortunately, here in America especially, we have this stigma where if you're, willing to say that there are things in your life that, you're just struggling with, well, people want to perceive you as weak. And some people may perceive me as weak for saying these things, and that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to whatever your opinion is, whether that's of me or anyone else. But, I really think there's a lot of strength in it, and I think that it's a situation that a lot of people struggle with, but we don't want to do so verbally. What we want to do is get on social media and we want to tell people how great things are, or, we want to send out a text to a buddy, and when they ask how we're doing, we just want to respond, oh, everything's fantastic, and we don't want to be transparent. So I just want to be transparent. I don't say this arrogantly, but I think that I'm somebody who's strong. I think that I'm somebody who used to be very strong physically. That's kind of not the case right now, but very strong physically. I think I've proven in life to be very strong mentally, be very resilient. But that doesn't mean that there aren't times where I'm just like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like, I can't be at my best? Or why do I feel like, every day is just another day in this long, like, cavern that you can't get out of? And I know some of it has to do with quarantine, and then some of it has to do with the fact that, I think that there are times in our lives where we go under mental and spiritual attack, and I'm certainly probably under both of those right now. But I want to share a little quick kind of story with you. And I think that this is very relatable. But the other day, I went into Brady's room, and anybody who knows Brady just knows that he's this kid of, just high energy. He's always happy. He's always making other people laugh. He is a true ham. He's a character from the word go. And I love that about this kid. Like, I had put a post up not too long ago that said, if you don't have a Brady in your life during quarantine, like, I'm going to be praying for you, because this kid keeps things interesting, right? Well, I went in his room, I guess it was sometime last week. And when I went in his room, I could just tell something was off with him. And I said, "Hey, buddy, what's wrong with you?" And he goes, "It's nothing, Dad." But when he said it, like tears welled up in his eyes. And so I said, "No, buddy, you can tell Dad what's going on." And he said, "No, Dad, it's nothing. It's nothing, Dad." And he was just choking back these tears. I mean, and as a dad or as a parent in general, you know when your kids are hurting, and you know when they're trying to be brave because they think they just have to be brave. And so finally I sat down there next to him. I said, "Buddy, tell me what's going on with you." He goes, "It's nothing, Dad. It's nothing." And then he leaned in and he put his arm around me. He said, "I just love you so much." And when he said that, it broke my heart, because while he was struggling with something, he wasn't willing to just tell me what he was struggling with. He just wanted to kind of say something to make me feel good. And in that moment, I took my arms and I wrapped my arms around him and I pulled his little head into my chest. And I just told him, how much I loved him, and how, no matter what he's going through, there's nothing he could ever do that would separate him from my love, and how proud of him I am, and how that it's okay if you're hurt, your feelings are hurt, and it's okay if you're not having a good day, and it's okay. And we just sat there for a while, and I'm sorry I'm getting a little emotional, but we just sat there for a while, and I just loved on him. I think any good parent, any good father, when you see your son in pain, you would do that. And the Lord brought that back to my mind. Right now when I'm struggling, it's so easy to say, "It's nothing, Daddy, I'm okay. It's nothing, I'm okay." But he knows me, and he knows you, and he knows what you're going through. And sometimes it's all right to just say, "Dad, I love you so much," and just fall into his arms and let him hold you and let him reassure you that it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have bad weeks. Some of you have been on a bad month or a bad year or maybe a bad 10 years. I don't know. But it's okay. But that love that I have for my son, that there's nothing he could do that would ever separate him from my love. The love that our Heavenly Father has for us is 10 times greater than that. And he reminded me of that. And he also reminded me that he tells me in the Word that he'll never leave me nor forsake me. So that means that even when I have bad days and I act in ways that maybe make me a little shameful, maybe make me a little bit like wondering, why can't I just get it together? He never has those feelings. When I saw Brady with tears in his eyes, I didn't think to myself, "Well, man, what's wrong with this kid? Why can't he get it together?" My heart went out to him. And he didn't need answers. Brady didn't need answers that day. What he needed was the love of his father. And so, listen, I don't know what you're going through. And, you might be like me where, from the outside, things look great. But then on the inside, things are just a little bit off. But I want you to know that there's a lot of people out there that love you. And there's no one who loves you more than our God. The things that were done. And I know that some people who watch this may not be spiritual, and that's okay too. Like, God doesn't put that as a prerequisite. He doesn't just say that I'll only love you if you believe in me. He loves you regardless. And so I just wanted to share this with you. I hope it's encouragement for somebody. And look, I'm not, I'm somebody, if you know me, you know that I hate to ask for help. So this isn't just some pity party cry for help. What this is to say is that it's okay if you're not okay. Honestly, you're in pretty good company. I know a lot of people who probably aren't okay, even though they'd want you to think they are. So I've talked way longer than I meant to. I'm sorry. Again, I've missed you all. I hope that you know that I truly, sincerely love you. I'm going to be moving soon, but that's not going to stop the way that you can get a hold of me. I pray that my friends continue to get a hold of me. I pray that I'm able to meet new friends. I pray that I'm able to find new fields to sow seed in. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great night, and I hope that I'll get to see a lot of you soon, especially my obstacle course racing family. It's been far too long for my North Alabama friends and also family up there like my brother. I cannot wait to see you guys. And Montgomery friends and family, we're not going to be gone. We're leaving to go to a new home, but we're not gone. We're going to be back, and I certainly hope we get a chance to see one another between now and then. All right. I love you. Have a great night. Goodbye.